Michelle here, Thrifting 101. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Glad you're stopping in. Finally, the last of my pre-thrifted hauls is tonight. I hope you enjoy. Up at the Goodwill for $2.99. It's depression glass. It's either a small mayo or a whipped cream bowl. Either way, it's a small compote bowl. It's got a really pretty floral, and I call it a lattice design on it. I couldn't find out the maker. I do know it's depression glass, so I'm dating it to the 1930s. I think I'm going to ask about $25 for it. This is from my own collection, and I think I'm ready to part with it. It's in wonderful condition. It's Pyrex in the royal wheat pattern, and the royal wheat was a 1960 promotional pattern, and it actually came with the original, or I have the original cradle right here. You can see it's really a pretty design on that side. Same design on that side, a really wonderful condition. As I have been stating before, I'm finding lots of people are using these as plates, which is a really good idea. I think I'm going to start doing that also with some of mine. Anyway, back to the royal wheat Pyrex divided dish here. It's a 1.5 quart oval, by the way. I'm going to ask $20 for it with the original cradle. Just needs a little cleaning up. Otherwise, in great shape. I found these at one of the church thrift stores. I wish I could have found the plates, but I only found the 2 cups. They're federal. They are not marked. I'm going to put them down. They were part of a luncheon set, 1950s to the very early 1960s, simply called FEG7, and it's also referred to as atomic leaf, atomic pot leaf. Anyways, they are very, very popular patterns, even without the snack trays themselves. I think I can get, the going rate's about $10 for both cups. It's always fun to find a little Christmas, and especially a little Christmas with the box. I found this adorable Grandpa Lloyd at the Goodwill. I paid $2.99 for him. He's from the House of Lloyd, 1997, part of the Christmas Around the World collection. And you can see right here he has his hammer, and he's working on a little rocking horse toy there. I'm going to show you, he's in just adorable condition. Just one of many figurines from this series, and they sell pretty well, and the fact that I have the box means I'm going to be asking about $18 for them. Not much I can tell you on this really pretty hand-painted leaf-shaped bowl, and I'll show you why I can't tell you much on it. It's unmarked on the back. I did pay $2.99 for it. Well worth it, great condition. I do believe it is hand-painted, although it is unsigned. It was probably a blank that somebody had painted. I think I'm going to ask about $15 for it, not a lot. Nice shape, pretty colors. This was a really cool find, a Goodwill find again. I paid $4. There's actually 2 little bowls right here. They're nesting bowls. They have a nice scalloped edge here. This is a 6-inch. This is a 5-inch. This is a decal pattern. And I would show you the bottom, but you would never be able to pick it up on the camera. But right here, it's a CCC. There are 3 C's like interwoven together. That tells me it's a Continental Can Company. Continental Can Company bought out Hazel Atlas in 1957, and by 1964 they sold most of the Hazel Atlas plants to the Brockway Glass Company. So I'm going to put these nesting bowls somewhere in between 1957 and 1964, probably the early 1960s. I guess it's a mustard color. It's in wonderful condition, both these bowls. I've never seen this pattern before, and they sell for about $20 for the set right here, which is what I'll be asking. This is a KIG floral design canister. I picked it up at the Goodwill for $3.99, which I thought was kind of a lot, but I've never seen one before. You can see how pretty it is. The embossed part is on the outside. Has, mention it right now, just a tiny little round, or not round, but a smoothed over chip on the inside. I have never seen one before, and I still haven't seen one with a flat top anywhere out there. I've seen canisters with a different lid, not this one. Canister, jar, grease jar, you can use it for, I guess, whatever you want. I used to sell a lot of KIG. I did stop selling it when it just became very, very common, and it was everywhere. KIG, which, like I just said, I sold a lot of. I had no idea what it stood for, so I did a little investigating, and I found out what it stood for, but it took a while. It kept coming up, keep it gangsta, but I knew that wasn't correct. So after a little more searching, KIG, which stands for, and I'm probably not going to get this right, the first word, Kedong Industrial Group. So Kedong Industrial Group, KIG, started in 1969 in Indonesia. If you saw it here, it said Malaysia. They were also made in Malaysia. They're still in business, and they're one of the largest glassware manufacturers in the world, actually. A jar like this, been finding similar ones selling in the $25 to $35 range. I'm gonna ask $25 for this one right here. Really pretty. It's 4-inch without the lid. I picked this up at the Goodwill, and I like the fact that it had the cover with it. Hard to find lids with casserole dishes. It was all wrapped up. I got it home. I took off the lid. I knew it was copper tint, and I knew that much. And I noticed all of this inside, which is kind of a shame. What this is here is a Teflon coating. It's called MeraClean. It was made by DuPont. It's Teflon coating, like I said. And they did this on a few pieces back in the 60s. This one obviously is in such bad shape it can't be used. I think I'm gonna try and just take off the Teflon. I don't know if that's possible. And then maybe once it's all off, I can use it. The back stamp you saw there dates it to the 1960s. Copper tint started in 1958, it went to 1971, and they were the ovenware line for the Fire King Peach Lusterware line. But I remembered, I'm gonna put that over here, I remembered that I had just recently purchased the exact same one, a 1.5 quart copper tint Fire King oval casserole without the lid. You can see it's in great condition. So now at least I have the lid, and I will sell this off because I did not get around to listing it. I can sell that piece off. It's in really nice shape. And I did find I had only one, great condition. It's a chili bowl, the copper tint, and the back stamp here, it's upside down. Sorry about that, guys. This back stamp right here dates this bowl to the 1950s, and I can tell it's a chili bowl and not a cereal bowl, because it has a little foot here, a little rim. If it didn't have that, it would be a cereal bowl. These were called chili bowls. Like I said, I'm just gonna throw that in with the casserole, and I'm going to ask $22. I was able to find some restaurant wear, and I was doing pretty good on restaurant wear for a while. Then I wasn't picking up many pieces, but I did find this sterling cream soup bowl, very small bowl, or cup, I guess it's a cup, for 99 cents. And I'm gonna turn it over one more time to show you the back stamp right here. You can see right here it has an O. That's a date code. This is 1952, and O stands for October to December. So I know that it was produced between 1952, between October and December. They were made out of East Liverpool, Ohio, the Sterling China company was, and they date from 1917 to now. The company is still actually in business. This is vitrified glass, and vitrified simply means to convert glass or a glassy substance by using heat and fusion. So it makes it extra durable. That's what restaurant wear mostly is, vitrified glass. I'm going to ask, I think, $10 for the cup. I find these fairly often. They are Anchor Hocking in the bubble pattern. It's milk glass, 1940 to 1965. And you can see it's not dated Anchor Hocking or Fire King here, but this is what the logo, it's not even a logo. This is what the pattern looked like back then. This, I think, actually, I just found out some interesting information about the milk glass bubble bowl because it did come in other colors. The milk glass was only listed in the 1959 to 1960 catalog, so that dates out right there for me, 1959 to 1960. This is a larger 8.5 or maybe 8.25 inch serving bowl. And like I said, they came in lots of different colors. Last time I showed one in the sapphire blue. I wanted to let you know that the hardest piece to find in the bubble pattern is a sapphire blue grill plate, which was actually used by restaurants. So if you find that one, pick it up. I did say I paid $2.99 for it, I believe, and I think I'm going to ask $12 for it. I might even have another one listed, so I might just throw this one on as an extra bowl. We'll see. Good condition. The bubble pattern made by Anchor Hocking had a fairly long run dating from 1940 all the way to 1965. This is also from my personal collection, and you might have seen it back in my older videos a couple years back. It was kind of in the background in my Merritt Island home. Really nice condition. It's Jeanette glass bake, and I did have a lid, so I'm adding the lid to it because it fits it perfectly. It's a handled soup bowl, simply titled JEG12. Jeanette glass bake dates from 1960 to 1983. I don't know the date on this one, but turn it around a little bit. All in wonderful condition. A really pretty, to me, a very 1970s pattern to it. And I am going to list it, and I'm going to have to find out what they're going for. Found this pretty silver Crest Fenton double crimped 7.5 inch bowl at the Goodwill. I paid $4.99 for it. Kind of a lot, but it was there and it was a beautiful shape, so I did pick it up. Silver Crest is one of Fenton's patterns that have been in production for one of the longest periods of time. Funny thing about this pattern was it was discontinued a few times, but requests for more of it kept Fenton putting it back into production. And some ways to date your piece include, if you want to know if it's pre-1958, which this piece is not, it was actually called opal and it wasn't milk glass. And if you held it up to a really bright light, you would see a fiery red to it, which this does not have. So I know this is predates 1958 and it is milk glass. And I do know, I can tell you it also predates 1973 because it doesn't have the logo, the embossed logo here, which Fenton started using in 1973. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Fenton's Crest line. This, as I said before, is the silver Crest, which actually started out as the crystal Crest. And the way you can tell the difference, this is a silver Crest. Like I said, if it was a crystal Crest, it would have had another band of crystal right here. So it would have been a crystal, a milk glass, and then another crystal, crystal ruffle on top. Crest line came in a lot of different colors. The Aqua Crest, which was renamed Blue Crest, started in the 1940s. And again, like I said, they were production stopped and restarted. They started making the Blue Crest again in the 1960s. The Gold Crest or Harvest Crest, 1960s. The Rose Crest, which is probably the hardest to find because it was only made between 1944 and 1947. They made a Peach Crest, which was actually a ruby glass with a layover of milk glass. I haven't run across one, but I'm going to keep my eye out for that because it sounds interesting. And they also made a Snow Crest line in the 1950s that had reverse colors. I'm going to ask about $12 for this bowl. If you remember in my last video, I had found some of these Anchor Hocking avocado green cups in the Sereno pattern. I had bought them because I had a few of the matching luncheon or snack plates at home. I did list those. This one must have been mixed in with the other ones and I didn't catch it. So I'm not even going to put it on the listing. If somebody buys the plates and the other cups, I'm just going to throw this in. It'll be a nice little surprise. A few milk glass finds, milk glass mug finds at the Goodwill. I guess everything that's not mine I did find at the Goodwill in this haul right here. And I paid 99 cents for each of them. This one obviously is a stackable mug. It is not marked. I have right here, this is marked, I believe. Yep, that's a glass bake mug and it's a blue onion design. Right here you can see it's in really nice condition. Simply JEG 25. It's Jeanette glass bake. This one was just a really cool mug, milk glass, you can see right here. A green iridescence on it. It's a stacking mug. There's nothing on the bottom of it, so I don't know who made it. Very 1970s looking to me. And this third one here, you can tell they're obviously not a set. It's also a stacking mug, and I believe this is Fire King. There's Anchor Hocking Fire King. Definitely 1970s, in wonderful condition. Different flowers on each side. I think I'm going to try and sell them off as a lot of 4 and see what happens if I can sell them that way, even though they're all kind of different. And probably going to ask about $25 for the 4 right here. I just wanted to talk for a minute about these plates that sit at the back end of my table. A lot of people ask me about them, and I just wanted to let everybody who didn't know that these are Hazel Atlas 1950s. They're called Ripple or Crinoline. A lot of people refer to them as Crinoline. And they're Hazel Atlas version of milk glass. Actually, if you could find an original box, which I saw a picture of, but I don't own, it actually just said OPEG. That was what, it didn't say Ripple or Crinoline. I have right here, I had a whole lot of it about 20 years ago, and unfortunately I sold it off. This is what I have left, and I just love it. A lot of people also refer to it as pie crust. It's very expensive to find these days. I do have my cup and saucer, which I use when I FaceTime Nora, when we have our little tea parties. And you can see right here, I have some in the pink, and this one's in really bad shape. And I also have some in the blue. They also came in a totally white color also. A lot of people like to mix and match them. So this is what I have left. Saucers you can find online a lot. The plates are a little harder. I have 2 bread and butter plates. I have 3 of the lunch plates. And I have 3 of the dinner plates left. And I just love looking at them every day. So that's what they are for those of you who didn't know. Oh, I did forget to mention that they made the cups in a beaded handle and also a plain handle. The beaded handles going for just a little bit more money than the plain ones. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the haul. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye. Did hauls pretty well. I know they made a lot of different characters. For the using in 1973. Probably originally had a foil or paper label on it. There are a lot of people probably find it thrift haul.